Hey, hello and a wonderful day to you. Let me start off with reminding us that we have one life, just one. So why aren't we running like we are on fire towards our wildest goals and dreams? Hi, my name is Anton Benning and I've put this show together to share everything that I've learned on my journey and share how we can learn to become those creators of circumstance instead of creatures of circumstance. And the way that we do it is, for example, by understanding the higher faculties of our mind. The higher faculties of our mind is there are 6 higher faculties. And I'm going over them one by one in these past couple of shows and in the coming up couple of shows as well. And today, after 3 other shows, after speaking about memory, after speaking about perception, it is time to speak about reason. Our reasoning factor is that ability of ourselves to either accept or reject an idea. We are from a very young age conditioned to believe certain things, to do things in a certain way. And this is because when we are a baby, we do not yet have the ability to either accept or reject an idea. When we are a baby still, every single thing that goes on around us is automatically accepted. So whatever mama does, whatever papa does, whatever granddad does, or whatever the people around us do, we accept it as truth. And that is how we start to be conditioned from the moment we come out of the womb. And only later our ability to reason kicks in, our ability to either accept or reject an idea. But then it's already for like a humongous part too late for us to make up our own ideas and beliefs because they've already been installed. And now it is up to us, when we become aware of this ability, to re-evaluate all the beliefs and all the ideas that we've started to believe. And once we start to re-evaluate, we can determine for ourselves what we do and what we do not want to take on as truth for ourselves. Because the self-concept that we have of ourselves is basically built up upon everything that we believe to be true. So there's 2 different ways of reasoning in our conscious mind. And in our conscious mind, we have inductive reasoning factor and a deductive reasoning factor. And I still think Bob Proctor taught this in the most simple to understand manner. And the inductive reasoning factor is basically our reasoning factor that gives us the ability to either accept or reject an idea. The deductive reasoning factor is basically when our ability to reason is set aside and everything that comes into our conscious mind is immediately also planted in our subconscious mind. This is how it works when we, for example, are watching a beautiful movie on the television and all of a sudden somebody is about to be shot in the head and boom, you've got a commercial coming by from this beautiful new car. And that is something they don't do once, that is something they do over and over and over again. Because what happens in that cliffhanger, as they call it in the movie, you are so focused by either excitement or shock or fascination that your inductive reasoning factor is set aside, so that you are not consciously able to accept or reject whatever you move on to your belief system, your subconscious mind, your emotional mind. So what happens is that when the commercial companies or the car companies or those people purchasing advertising do that over and over and over again, all of a sudden you find yourself in the showroom, like looking at these cars that you've seen in this commercial. You don't really know why you're there, but you're there. And this is what happens when we set aside our inductive reasoning factor and we're not conscious anymore about why we either believe something or why we don't believe something. As Bob Proctor taught me, like, our belief system is based upon our evaluation of something, and often when we reevaluate the situation, our belief system will change. And that is so important. So let me repeat that. Our belief system is based upon our evaluation on something. And often when we re-evaluate that situation, our belief system around it will change. So for us, it is the most important thing surrounding this higher faculty to become super aware of our inductive reasoning factor, of that ability that we've got to accept or reject an idea. When somebody tells us something, ask yourself, do I want to accept this as truth? When you read something somewhere, ask yourself, do I want to accept this as truth? And it doesn't matter if it's a fact or something happening in the world around you. It doesn't have to be your truth. If it is something negative, but it is something going on in the world, you can still be like, I choose not to focus on that. I choose not to accept that as truth for me. Because once you start something to accept something as truth for you, it moves over to your subconscious emotional mind. And your subconscious emotional mind doesn't work inductively and deductively. It only works deductively. So anything that we consciously accept, our subconscious mind must accept. And once our subconscious mind has it, which is also referred to as infinite intelligence or subjective mind or our emotional mind. Once something is planted there, it must move into form. So when you focus upon the bad things and you accept the bad things in your life as truth, you must therefore bring more bad things into your life. So that is why these higher faculties are so superbly important for us to consciously create our circumstance and not keep having the negatives come back into our lives. I really hope that you're going to become more and more aware as well. For me, it's a large process because you constantly are around other people and everybody's got an opinion. And everybody is usually also very excited to share their opinions with you. So also when you're amazed or you're fascinated or shocked, because those are three ways to set aside your inductive reasoning factor. When you're amazed, fascinated, or shocked, like whatever happens, it goes straight into your subconscious mind. So it is up to us to realize when we are amazed, fascinated, or shocked so that we can take back control over our thoughts and our emotions. Because when we are in control over our thoughts and emotions, at least most of the time, they are not in control of us and we become the creator instead of the creature of circumstance. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope I've been able to share something of value with you today. Don't forget, my friends, to live with love and live with passion. Namaste.